What is good? I'm back with another one, Live Wire Sports Media, on this Cool Down Thursday edition. Let me tell you something. I had to circle back on this news article right here with the Project B. Project B. Projects. We from the projects. Project B out of Saudi. So everybody has said, well, it's over for the WNBA. Oh, Saudi is trying to get this person. Saudi is trying to get that person. Saudi is trying to do this. Saudi is trying to do that. Saudi is this. Saudi got that money that just never ends. And which is true. They got money that never sleeps. Yes, they money never sleeps. Never take a vacation. Never call out of work. Their money just keeps going and going and going and going. But guess what, though? There was an article coming out today. What does this new Project B have to gain, and who is it up against? Well, we all talked about the WNBA, how it doesn't appreciate the players, how they didn't treat Caitlin Clark, and so forth and so on. But guess what? RGB come out of nowhere. First, it was Unrivaled last year. They already had Athletes Unlimited. Then you got the Upshot League that's going to start too. So you got so many leagues coming out. Matter of fact, I might come out with a league. They're just coming out with leagues all over the place. Women's sports is blooming all over the place. And it's given opportunity, whether if it's financial or development purposes. But for Project B, they just signed their first player, Nneka Umake, who is the president of the WNBA PA. And she's an owner of equity in there. But guess what? She's 35 years old. You really think they're gonna pay her like them top athletes they playing in boxing like $400 million? And over there in Live Golf, you think that? Nah, she ain't that good. Now, they want to get major players, young players, like a Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, so forth and so on, Asia Wilson. They want them because that's going to move the needle around. But the one caveat is when the league starts, it actually starts in November of 26 and goes into April. Now, it's not a conflict threat to the WNBA, not yet, maybe years down the line. But guess what? Guess what is a threat to, though? The Unrivaled League. Yes, the Unrivaled League. So let us jump into this article real quick because I like this. Because see, why Unrivaled is sitting up there on their hands thinking that they trying to take down the WNBA, they about to get taken out. They about to get taken out by another league. They about to get taken out by another league. And it's crazy because it just goes to show you. It just goes to show you. It goes to show you how they so focused on Kathy Ingeberg, and another league is about to take them out. But just like that. See, the WNBA still don't have nothing to worry about yet. Maybe once the Upshot League, once the Project B league kicks off and does well in the 2 to 3 years, might not even take them that long. But guess what? See, you get Caitlin Clark from November all the way to April. Then she could get ready for whatever. Because guess what? The younger talent is going to move that league. Now, they probably got some other talent. I don't know yet. Maybe they just getting certain talent now to get it kicked off and then make they push for the bigger names afterwards. You know what I'm saying? They know right now they can't just go after the bigger names, but they say, well, okay, let's get this off the ground. Let's put some names in there right now, get it kicking a little good so everybody can see what it's about, draw the viewers in, and guess what? Bam. Then we make our pitch in the next cycle for the bigger names, like a Caitlin Clark. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Caitlin Clark was to make $400 million just to play basketball from November to April? Saudi could pay her that amount of money. But the thing about it is, would she do it? That's the question. Would she do it? Because we already talked about her values, her Christian values, and we already talked about what it is with Saudi. I remember it was a big thing with Live Golf when it came out, how some of the players who didn't want to participate in it because they call it blood money. But guess what? Someone will end up turning around because guess what? Money talks. Bullshit walks. All right, let me dive in this article real quick for y'all. Let me see if I'll make sure I'm on. Let's see. Yeah, I'm on this one. All right, yeah, there we go. So it says in front office sports by and Constable. So Project B is offering WNBA stars multi-million-dollar salaries. And it said beginning in 1997, the WNBA had control of the summer and the Euro League, dominating the rest of the calendar. In recent years, the landscape has become more crowded with two new U.S. leagues, Athletes Unlimited 22 and Unrivaled last year. Now, a fourth major player is joining the fall, winter, and spring competition, Project B, a new global basketball league, officially announced its plans in October to host tournaments across Asia, Europe, Latin America, begins in November 2026 and running through April 2027. On Friday, the league, founded by Facebook executive Brady Burnett and Skype co-founder Golf Prestons, announced that it had signed Seattle Storms player, the president of the WBPA, Naneka Umake, as their first player. Other WNBA players have already signed deals to play in Project B. Multiple sources has told Front Office Sports. Those same sources say multiple stars are being offered seven-figure salaries starting at $2 million annually, which their earnings for multiple year deals reaching 8 figures. In addition, players will receive equity in the league, similar to who? Unrivaled. Now, so if they're getting seven-figure deals starting at $2 million, okay, well, you think those are the lower level players. I think Umake, let's say for instance, her salary is at $2 million. She got equity in the league. If the league does good, she makes more money. So I can't see them paying her $4 million, $5 million, or whatever. Maybe they do. But then you think the low level players who already signed it and they starting off at $2 million, and people say, you know what? Hey, I'll play for $2 million, and then I got equity. They're gonna make more money on top of that anyway, so they just signed for $2 million. Unrivaled ain't offering nobody $2 million. As much as they don't went out there and promote this league, this sham of a league, they went out here on this little press tour to announce they're gonna be playing in Philadelphia. Then they did this little roster draft thing last night. Let me tell you, and shout out to John Liquidator, because I have to give him credit on this one because he said something pretty found. If Project B is about to be as big as we think it's going to be, why not us as content creators benefit from it? Cover it. You never know what may happen. They might be looking for content creators coverage on this league. It would be a good look for all of us. So I think it would be good. Now, let me continue. The question everybody has asked in women's basketball right now, how big of a threat is Project B and to whom? Now, this is where it gets juicy at. A number of WNBA SOAP executives told Front Office Sports the immediate reaction of the new 5-on-5 league, which will feature 6 teams, 11 players, is one of its curiosity. While the season doesn't count in direct competition with the WNBA calendar, multiple sources question whether or not the league will be in direct threat to the WNBA in time. And I say it's a process. And guess what? It could be 2 years, 3 years. Depends on how well this league does. Okay? And you got to think, for Caitlin Clark to be a global superstar, it will serve her, she might decide to. Now, we got to sit back and think now. Caitlin Clark, they offer her $1 million to play in Unrivaled. She turned it down. Ice Cube offered her $10 million to play in the Big Three. Maybe money is not the object for Caitlin Clark. Maybe her fascination of growing women's basketball and growing the league the way it's supposed to. Now, I said this in my last video. I would let all the older players leave. I would love to see Unrivaled get taken out by Project B. That would be, if you ever eat caviar, that would be just taste so good to see that happen. Because guess what? Then that means Nafisha then will have to play overseas or come back to the WNBA. And that will, boy, you talk about, oof. That's all I can say. Now, so while the season does not go in direct competition with the WNBA calendar, multiple sources question whether or not the league could be a direct threat to the WNBA in time, and suggest that some WNBA players could consider foregoing their season if the CBA negotiations continue to go poorly. Now, the only way they're going to happen if they don't get a deal done and it becomes a potential lockout, which I have explained. The WNBA could shift gears. They could say, yeah, we want to get this deal done. But then they can look at it and sit back and say, well, we got all these young stars that's coming out of college and we got some that's already in the league. Why not turn the league young, restart the league, hit a restart on it, get some of these older players out, let them go play in Project B, Unrivaled, Athletes Unlimited, or overseas. Let them go. We still got the young stars over here. And if the young stars is going to carry the new WNBA, then guess what? Then that will be perfectly, because then they could keep them there and they don't have to risk their players going overseas. And then they could come up with a new agreement or a better WNBPA union or whatever the case might be. Something to think about, something to throw out there. You never know. So, if not unheard, it's not unheard because guess what? Diane Taurasi skipped the 2015 season and the rest of the and go to play for Russia team in the off season. The UMMC, that's all I'm gonna say, pay her more than 107,000. Paid her more than her 107,000 WNBA salary to sit out the 2015. She made 1.5 million playing for Russia at that time. Okay. Then you got recent years, and Mensah, Gabby Williams have missed time due to the legal strict prioritization rule. Mensah notably missed the 23 and the 24 season while playing for Belgium national team and the Turkish club. Multiple WNBA executive viewed the Umake announcement again if the WNBPA president as an international move to exert pressure on labor negotiations. There is a familiar feeling last year when union leaders Nafisha Carter and Breonna Stewart co-founded Unrivaled at the same time. Both players acknowledged the startup 3-on-3 compete with lucrative salary and player amenities that were superior to what they was getting from WNBA teams. came at a perfect time as negotiations for a CBA just to begin. Now, we already know they're on a 30-day notice until November 30th. The WA has no comment about the Project B potential impact on the league. I'm sure they're thinking about it. I'm sure they're looking at other things. The most immediate threat Project B poses is to Unrivaled and other foreign leagues that play in the WNBA all season, as their season directly conflicted. Nearly 30 players are in Unrivaled or signed to multi-year contracts. The league has exclusivity during its month and pay with could make a unavailable to the league has exclusivity during its months and of play, which could make them unavailable to play in Project B, depending on a new 5-on-5 league allowance. EuroLeague, for example, has multiple clubs with players who are currently under contract, but will leave to play in Unrivaled begin in January. It is unclear if Project B would make the same occasion for players. So, all right. With that being said, I think they will. I think they will make a concession. I think they will try to pull some of them players from over there. I think they would. Now, some people say call Aneko signing, call her a hypocrite, says Saudi and blood money. Saudis have laws that refuse basic human rights to women. Saudi convict gays with the death penalty. Y'all effing tongues all over new CC fans, but won't speak out against these sellouts, complete cowards. And I agree with them. This should be really loud in here. And I just think that it's that's why me personally, CC Morals, to me, I just don't see her doing it. And money is not even everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's good to make money, but at the same time, selling your soul is not one of them. I just, this is a slap in the face to other 70% of the WNBA players by the leadership of the BPA. That 70% will never play in the Plan B league. That's why I say Plan B. Oh, tripping. Yep. That's a significant threat if they can also get the necessity, sponsorship, and media partners. That's going to be the key. That right there itself is the key, because you guess what? You got to realize if they could get coverage like ESPN, NBC, Amazon Prime, even Netflix or somebody to have premier coverage, media coverage, oh yeah, it's a game changer. It will be a game changer. If they go to live golf route and just throw money at players without the supporting infrastructure behind it, it will likely fail. However, yep. And I think that Project B probably learned a lesson from the from it before, from the live situation. They probably won't. Now, this is very interesting by Phoenix. Shout out to him. He said, Project B will exactly end the WNBA with one move. Sign Caitlin Clark and put exclusivity in her contract. I'm fascinated by the question on how much Saudi will offer her. By example, Canelo Alvarez signed a 4-fight deal worth $400 million contract. So that's $100 million each fight. Janica Sinner just made $6 million for simply playing 3 exhibition tennis matches. Wow. John Rahm, who's play on Live Golf and also competes in the PGA Tour, signing bonus was $400 to $600 million, and he has instantly multiplied his lifetime earnings by 20 to 30 times. There's more examples to be clear all about the future, you know what I'm saying? So it goes down to talk about everything right here. Me personally, it's something that you have to sit hard and think about, to be honest with you. Like a lot of these young players, women in the WNBA and the college that come to the WNBA, if their dream is to come and play in the WNBA, then they should be band together and say, hey, we want to make it the new era of WNBA for the young athletes that's coming up. We understand there's, people that ahead of us that, set this pay way, but we need to put this WNBA in a new era, a new different perspective. I guess if people start speaking out and start being handcuffed by the old guard, and then it'll be better. It'll be better for them. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this here. Unrivaled, you in trouble. You in trouble. I think later on down the line, if they end up pulling like if Project B pulls like a big star like a Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, and Cam Brink or Paige Beckers or something like that, or you get like a young talent like a Hannah Hidalgo or Olivia Miles, or you get a Flajay Johnson, all of them that's in college now, or Juju Watkins when she does come out. Yeah, it would. I think it definitely would hurt the WNBA then. But until you land on big names, the WNBA is safe right now because guess what? They can sit back and say, you know what? Hey, let's see Unrivaled dig themselves out of this one. While they're attacking us, they about to get shafted by somebody from cross seas. Because guess what? Unrivaled ain't got that kind of money to compete with Project B. Like, comment, subscribe. Your Tuesday Cool Down edition, Live Wire Sports Media. It's The Wire.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire. It's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it. So official, like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire. Sports and entertainment. Let's go.